back again. I want to thank everyone right quick for all the replies to my last video. I have not had a chance to really... I've gotten the notifications. I haven't really felt up to getting on there and replying yet. I haven't even, to be honest, haven't looked at them at the time of this video. And I keep meaning to, but... It's an uphill struggle yet. But I do want to thank you. I promise I will be getting, first chance I get, I will be getting back to y'all. Thank you again. But I did have yet another incident on top of, well, 2 incidents rather, on top of basically being told people just want to use me. And I took to Facebook and I actually did ask, how do you respond to being told something like that? And I was told, and I quote, use poison. I don't know if they meant poisonous words as a response or to poison myself and get it over with. With this particular person, it could go either way. Either way, any way you stack it, it was very much a buzzkill, if you will. And yeah, and plus I had a couple of co-workers that were making comments about me. One of them was making comments about me. I couldn't really hear it because I was on the phone and whatnot. The other one I did hear was instructing him to kind of stop. I don't know what it was about, but I know it was happening. I don't know exactly what all was being said. But, so that's kind of kept me down from replying because it just kind of drained me. There's another incident that happened last night. Then it was on the pre-war Gibson Banjo forum group on Facebook. And someone asked an open-ended question. With Gibson going through their bankruptcy, do they think that will affect the Gibson Banjo process, especially the pre-wars? A little background on me. I grew up around people with auctions. I grew up around stuff like that. At one time, I've actually turned down opportunities to be appraisers or working as an appraiser with auction companies. I do collect several things. If you've noticed from a video or two, I do have an interest in antique firearms, especially military surplus. So I'm not a complete and total noob to the world of collecting. So let's get that out of the way. It will come back to play. There's a particular reason why I'm pointing this out now. So I chimed in with my 2 cents, if you will, and I said, no, it won't really affect it because Gibson's already stopped producing banjos. Yeah, they will. I mean, as far as changing their price, it'll remain steady, and by that, it's pretty much understood that they will gain value just because of age and the supply and demand, all that stuff. But as far as Gibson's bankruptcy and everything else, that's not going to have any real effect, and that's just because Gibson banjos or Gibson instruments will still exist. Now I did specify the only way it would affect it would be if Gibson were to go under, and that would, you'd have the hoarders, if you will, pop up and just try to buy anything and everything with the Gibson name on it. And I specified that. And I had this individual proceed to tell me how wrong I was, how I didn't know what I was talking about, and how unless I could match his expertise in the world of banjos and music and everything else, I was not permitted to troll the comment. Okay, keep in mind, one, he was responding to me. Two, he basically told me I was not permitted to defend myself when I was being attacked. And that was an attack. Make no bones about it. He did not actually refute what I was saying. He did not address what I was saying. He basically told me I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't have his expertise. Oh, cool. That's, I forget the exact year, but that was a red and white Mustang, or a Corvette the first year. And I forget, I used to know what it was, because I used to be in the model cars. I did a metal model car like this, only instead of it being red with white appointments, it was the model car was white with red. I really wish I could remember what year that was. Crap. I used to be really huge into antique cars. But back on topic. He was attacking me, and that the reason why he was attacking me was it was a matter of ego, that the only way he can feel verified or validated or whatever is to sit there and attack people simply because they don't have his expertise and his this and his that. That's where it comes into play, my expertise, and I do admit I have a limited expertise, but I'm not completely clueless. And that's when I stood up and pointed out the fact that no, this is in fact true because of this, and this. And while you're attacking me saying I'm not permitted unless I can match your expertise, I'm not a complete and total idiot. I do know a little bit about collecting stuff. I do know a little bit about when things become unavailable. I know this stuff. I'm not completely and totally clueless. Furthermore, you really don't have a right to tell me, to dictate that I'm not able to defend myself or reply back, and you have no right to do that whatsoever. And furthermore, yet the only person trolling the comment was you, and he proceeded to basically tell me to go F off, and how I had no right to tell him about what he couldn't do with his rights and everything else. In which I responded back saying, okay, I just used your own argument against you. The fact that you're so torn up about this is just a sign of your hypocrisy. Don't comment anymore to anything I say. He's left me alone so far, but people agree. There's been a couple people actually kind of agree and kind of, and here's why. Knowledge and expertise is not absolute. You can be an expert in a particular field. It's also possible for someone with a different background to have insight that is still relevant. Yes, I may not have the most experience with, say, vintage instruments, but I do have expert as in the world of collection and appraisal and auctions and stuff. And I've seen what happens in the firearm collection market, such as what's happened with military surplus after some executive orders were signed limiting their import into the country. I've seen stuff like that, and that happened under Obama. And I've seen how the prices have gone up over that. So I've seen, like with the recent round of sanctions against Russia, where they can't get the Reaper rifle in anymore. I saw what happened with that. How once the hoarders came up and the panic buying started, prices went through the roof because of supply and demand. So I understand how that works. And to simply discredit someone because they have a different viewpoint is wrong. To basically tell someone they're not permitted to comment on something is wrong. Especially when it was an open forum requesting open-ended opinions where anyone who saw it was welcome to offer their opinion. They didn't specify, oh, you have to have this experience to comment. No, it was an open-ended comment about what is everyone's opinion. And so this guy had, you see what I'm getting at? There's more to life than just one thing. The world is full of different people with different backgrounds, different experiences, different knowledges, or realms of knowledge, levels of knowledge. There's no absolute with knowledge and experience, and it is very much possible for someone with next to no experience or next to no knowledge of a particular subject to still be able to make a relevant point of view. To simply discredit someone because they may not have all your qualifications is wrong. Maybe they've done something that, or seen something that enables them to speak with some level of experience that where they can make a relevant point. You see what I'm getting at? And to try to literally censor, in this case, someone on an open forum is wrong. It's blatantly censorship. It is wrong. And here's the thing, he was a hypocrite, because when his argument was turned back upon him, he got not only defensive but hostile. He was belligerent in his defense, where I was somewhat respectful. He was anything but. Which shows, that just shows his mentality, how shallow and vain he is, that he has to resort to that, to attacking someone simply because he needs his ego stroked to feel relevant. He contributed nothing of value to the conversation. I at least tried to bring something of a valid comment to the conversation. And I get the feeling by some of the responses I've gotten, I'm not the first person he's pulled this stunt with. So, try to keep an open mind. There's all kinds of people in the world who can give you points of views that can open your mind in ways that you never knew possible. Don't discredit them. Keep an open mind. And if there's a time and a place to say, you're talking out your keister, fine. But don't just sit there and say, unless you are blah, 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 you're not permitted to say anything. No. You can't do that. Because, like I said, it was an open forum where everyone was permitted to have their opinion. He had no right to try to shut people down just because he didn't like what was said. And, again, the world is full of knowledges and experiences, which can be relevant in all kinds of situations outside of a certain set of parameters. There is life outside of, in this case, banjos. And some things in life are, even though they are unrelated in so many ways, can still provide insight that is still relevant. So keep that in mind. There's knowledge and inspiration everywhere. If you keep an open mind and just look. That doesn't mean you shouldn't question it. You should question it. Trust me. There's disinformation out there too. But that doesn't mean you just shut someone down because they have a different point of view than yours. Be open-minded. You never know. Maybe you'll learn something. Something you hadn't thought of. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you've forgotten. Unfortunately, this poor fool won't, because he's too closed-minded. His ego is too easily bruised. Don't be like him. Don't necessarily be like me either, but don't necessarily, you know. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. This is kind of a rambly video. Again, thank you for everything. Thank you for watching and commenting. I'll try to get back with y'all shortly. Later.